Okay, we're officially getting started. We're at a REMAX office in Mississauga. Next week, we're going to be doing a very similar presentation, and it's going to be in Florida. And one of the exciting things about Florida, why we're going to Florida, is because we're trying to get the Florida brokers to put their information on ICIWorld. And then when you have one of these widgets on your website, people can search Florida listings on your website. And if you get a call on a Florida listing, what are you going to do about it? You're going to call the other broker and do a referral. Okay? So in other words, what we're doing is helping every licensed real estate person in the world become basically an international real estate broker and salesperson. Okay? And if it's out of your market area, you do a referral. If it's not your specialty, like if you don't want to sell an apartment building, you're going to do a referral. Now, the only reason brokers don't do referrals is because they don't get the leads. Today, this session is all about generating leads in many different ways, but some basic specific ways. Okay, so everyone at home, everyone that listens to this, and also on the recording, you can be listening to this even 1 year from now, and even our recordings from years ago, they still apply to this day. So there's the instructions on the screen. It's absolutely free for everyone to put the apps on their phone and the mobile sites on their phone. You can connect with all the other brokers and make money, show properties, make good connections, and go from there. There is no charge until such time as you wish to personally advertise. Okay, now the people that are at home, you have to mute yourself because we can hear you. And so there is a little in the GoToMeeting control panel, there's a little button where you can actually mute yourself. And there's one person that hasn't muted. So I think what I'll do is I'll mute that person, and there we go. So that way there won't be any noise bothering us. Any questions on the mobile app? Does everyone feel comfortable to get into it? We were actually doing some exercises here before we started. Is there any questions on the mobile app? There is a reason that I want to explain. Can you show me, you have what we call the website that is a mobile website. Can you show everybody the mobile website? Just click on it and show them that it's a dark blue planet. Show everybody. Okay? Now there's a difference between a mobile website and an app. Okay, click on the app, or what you think is the app. Okay? And let it come up. In fact, I can even show it on my phone. Let me see. Okay, do you see that one? That's a little bit different from the one that you had, right? That's the one called ICIWorld.mobi. That is a mobile website. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, one of the strategies, a marketing plan for the next year is for you to get all your websites installed on all your customers' phones. Can you imagine if you have 100, 200, 300 people that you know? You go to a wedding. What if all those people at the wedding had your mobile website, not ICIWorld, your mobile website on their phone? Do you think that's a good idea? How many people think it's a good idea? Okay. That way, whenever any customer, any family member, relatives, friends, acquaintances, if they think of real estate, they can go to their phone, click on it, bring up your website, and search it, and then call you to go see property. Isn't that wonderful? This is a marketing plan. So all of these services, they're all working here to help you make money. And it's what Bill Gates says. It's like worldwide global advertising almost free. And we'll go through that a little bit. Now, the significance of this site, this is a shortcut. It uses up zero resources. If you have the app, which is this other one here, if you have this app, that's using up a tiny bit of resources. But if you've got lots of apps, your phone could go dead by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Does anybody's phone go dead early before they get home at night? Anybody? Okay, we have a few. Mine's one of them, actually, and I don't know why. But anyways, it's another story. The point is, the apps can drain your phone down over time. And some of your customers may say, no, I don't need any real estate right now. I don't need the app. It's going to drain my phone. You tell them it's not an app. What is it? Shortcut. It's a shortcut. It uses up 0 resources. Okay, and that way they should be able to have it on their phone at all times. So there's a difference. Now, how would you add a shortcut to your phone? Well, that's the next thing that you have to learn. This is new. We're all new in this business of cutting edge technology. But let's say that this is your website. Okay? On an Android, you'll notice there's 3 little dots at the top right-hand corner. If you have an Android, you bring up a website. If this is your website, you're going to have them click on those 3 dots. By the way, people, if you don't understand what I'm doing here today, if I go too fast, write down. Everyone should have a copy of everything that's on that table. If you don't have a copy, you should get up and get a copy of everything right now. And you can write on that. You can always call us later to follow up, but you should make notes as we go along. That way you can follow up later. This is a workshop for brokers and salespeople, nobody else. And if you miss one thing, you can miss making $50,000. So you should write these things down. And then you click on Add to Home Screen, and when you click on that, you can actually add that, and it goes right on your home screen. So now, right on the front page, if I was to click on it, actually it went on to another page because, oh no, there she is right there. I click on it, there it is. So in other words, you can add shortcuts. If you're using an iPhone, it's the little button way down at the bottom of the screen. If you need a hand learning how to do that, you should learn how to put shortcuts on your phone. Okay, let's move on. Now, there's 3.7 billion people on the internet. And a website is like your office building on the internet. How many people here have a website? How many people here do not have a website? Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about it. The people that have websites, we have something special for you. It's called widgets that you can put on your websites. And for the other people, you can have a website and they're basically $16.50 a month. And it's one of the most powerful features of the internet. And you can have more than one website. They're like billboards. Now, ICIWorld.com is really a society of real estate brokers and salespeople. We do not let the public join the service. So in one respect, we're like a real estate association, really, an independent society of real estate brokers and salespeople. And we specialize in exclusive information for the last 20 years. But because a broker is a member, you can also advertise your listings. In this room, is there anyone that has more than 5 listings on the real estate board? 4 listings. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Is it fair to say, and this is common, by the way, all over North America. When I do the seminar in Florida, when I do the seminar in Vancouver, Montreal, Collingwood, Toronto, any place, it's similar. In some communities, one broker sometimes has a few more listings. The people that do leasing of retail, they have a lot of listings. But basically, when you think about it, you're almost out of business everywhere. Am I right or wrong? What we're trying to do is to get more business by getting new listings. Is that right? We're always constantly trying to get new business. Well, we're going to show you today how you can be instantly in business with lots of information that can trigger leads for you. Starting today, there's a way for you to make money without having a signed listing on the Toronto Real Estate Board, in this case, or if you're in Florida, the same thing. There's a way to work exclusive information that is compatible with RICO. I'm doing this seminar broadcasting live on the internet from Ontario. And you have a registrar that provides real estate licenses called the Real Estate Council of Ontario. And they license everyone in this room and myself included. And they have guidelines of what you can do and what you cannot do. And we're going to cover some of those guidelines today to show you how you can be working exclusive information. The exciting thing about it is this. If you take a signed listing and you hand it into the Toronto Real Estate Board, they put it on the internet for you, and it can trigger leads. But you can also do that with information. Hang on one second. I'm just going to mute those fellas there, just so that the noise doesn't come through. So they can put it on the internet. Your listing goes on the internet, and people around the world can see it, call you, you go show the property, and you make $20,000. But what if you could do it with information where you cannot get a signed listing? What if that could trigger a lead? You put an agreement in place first before you give the address, and you go show the property, and you make $20,000. You can do it with information. Commercial brokers have been doing it for years, even before the internet. And we're going to show you how the commercial brokers do it, because I'm excited about getting all the residential brokers doing it, because there's a lot of for sale by owners out there, from owners trying to sell their condos and their homes and their cottages, all kinds of things. And it's all opportunities for each and every one of you to do business. Let's move on. We do reach, we specialize, you'll see, on the mobile sites. We started in 2016 with the mobile sites. We went from 0 to 7,000. In 2017, we went to 14,000 users of the mobile sites. And tonight, we're over 14,000. I don't know how many more, but it's increasing all the time, where more and more people are putting it on their phones. What's nice about it is once you have it on your phone, you usually leave it there, and you can always search it anytime you want. So it makes your information available on all these mobile devices that are being out there on the marketplace. Pardon me if I walk. You stay right where you are. Don't move. One of the things we do is, has anybody ever seen any of these? Okay, they're in your office. They're all over. The readership of these things, when you total it all up, is about 300,000 people interested in real estate that pick these up and read them per month, every month. Now, you will notice, what does that say right there? Is that ICIWorld? Yeah. That's ICIWorld advertisement. What about this one, right on the front page? ICIWorld. Okay, here's another one. ICIWorld, right on the front page. These are beautiful publications that are distributed on the street to help you market your properties. The reason why this can help you is because if somebody goes to this ICIWorld.com website and they search a listing and it's your listing, they pick up the phone and call you. You go show the property and you make $15,000. It starts from here to your listing to doing a showing and making money. This is the connection on the street that we're providing with this particular service. Let's move on. Now, our normal service is $40 per month or $319 per year. We do have a special there that you see that we'll talk about a little later. Yes, it gives you unlimited advertising and networking. And it gives you the widgets that you can put on your website that triggers leads. Now, can everyone go on their phone and bring up the app again, please? I'm going to show you something very exciting. This time, click on the word more. Click on the word more, please. And I will have to bother someone for a glass of water. Okay, thank you. And the fourth one down, what does it say? Should say testimonials. Now on yours, you just go straight down the page and look for testimonials. Can everyone click on testimonials? And you'll see three little dots. It's working to come up. We're all doing it at the same time, so you got pretty good Wi-Fi here in the room. Actually, I'm still using my LTE. Go down the page until you see the pictures, until you see these pictures coming up. Can everyone see the pictures coming up? These are the testimonials of all the brokers that are doing deals. This is 50 pages of testimonials, what I've got here printed out. I used to print these out and give them out to everyone. I no longer have to do it. Why? Here they are right here. They're all right here on your phone. Isn't that nice? I no longer have to hand these out. In fact, I'm using these over and over, these sheets of paper right here. 50 pages of testimonials of people doing deals. What's special about it, these are not on the Toronto Real Estate Board. So not only can you do business through the Toronto Real Estate Board, which is the backbone of our business and good, but you can also do business with exclusive information like these other brokers are doing here. And we're going to be showing you today how to do this exclusive business and help you make a lot more money this next year. You have a chance to do it if you work exclusive information. Isn't that exciting? These are cutting edge. I call these the leaders. These brokers and salespeople here, they're the leaders taking advantage of these services. They're taking their time out to learn, and I give you credit for taking your time out of your busy schedule today to learn as well. Well, let's move on. Now, we're here for 2 hours because it's a culmination of being on the internet for over 20 years. I've been on the internet for over 20 years. And I've taken all that 20 years of information and I squeezed it all down into 120 minutes. So we're going to be finished whenever we started, exactly 120 minutes. And I'm giving that here for you today to benefit from it. People go to the main website, and one of the things I hear is there's a lot of information there. Oh my God, there's so much information. But really, there's only 2 things that you do. One, you're going to search on your phone. Can you all search on your phone now within 3 to 5 seconds? Everyone in this room? Okay, within 3 to 5 seconds, you're able to search on the internet and find the latest listings coming here in Mississauga that are not on the Toronto Real Estate Board. Coming for sale. Assignments. FSBOs from the builders. There's lots of opportunities here. And we'll be showing you that in a moment. The second thing that you do, and by the way, you can be standing in line at Tim Hortons and you can be searching and see the latest listings coming along for both commercial and for residential. Now,
every time I try to go, it is just go to the mobile, like, or mobile app. It's not going on ICI.
Okay, it's the mobile app that you go to. Okay, go ahead and bring it up. Bring it up, and we'll just go ahead and you're waiting for it to come up. Okay, now you can click on search. You see where it says search residential? You click on the word search residential down there. And then that brings up the form, and you use that form. That form is very sophisticated. It's been designed by the former senior search engineer at the Nortel Corporation. And so it's a very sophisticated thing. They sold services like this one for $5 million to other people. And anyways, we managed to get the service built, and we're going to continue on. Now, so the first thing that you're going to do all year long is search from time to time, make a connection with somebody, make an appointment, go show the property, try to get an offer, make some money, go to the lawyer's office and collect your check and move on to the next deal. The second thing you do is to place your information. And I'm going to show you what you do to place your information. This is the main ICIWorld website that you see here. You can also search here. In fact, if I was to click on search and I go down, it's the same 4 choices that are on the screen here on the computer, on the internet, as it is on the mobile app, and that is in as the mobile website as well. It's the same 4 choices. Because if I clicked on commercial, you'll see that the same form comes on the screen for you to search. Now, the second thing that you can do when I go back to the main website is you go to this login over here once you're a member, and you're going to see that on the left-hand side are all the choices. I'm going to click on this one here that says add, have, want. And you'll notice there's a form comes on the screen. Now, is there anyone in this room that has a listing that is coming for sale in the next 1, 2, 3, 4 months? Anyone at all has a listing that's coming for sale? I'm going to use him for a change and use you for the next one. Can you tell me what it is? I'm sorry?
3 listings are coming.
3 listings are coming. Let's talk about just one of them. I'm not going to put it on here, but I'm going to show you what you can do. Okay? Watch this, people. I'm going to type in coming for sale. What city is it going to be in?
Mississauga.
It's in Mississauga. And what is it? Is it a home or commercial property? Residential home? I'll just say home. Now I'm going to say approximately. Do you know what the approximate price is for one of those homes?
1.2.
Okay, so I'm going to put a $sign 1.2 and a capital letter M. And the reason I said approximately is because you don't really know. Because when you get there, he might want 1.3 or maybe 1.1, depending on your market analysis and how fast they have to move. But it's approximately 1.2. So if you read what this says here up on the top, you're going to say that it says, please remember the 4 ingredients to be included in the subject line. The location, we've got it, Mississauga. The type of property, we've got it, it's a home. The price is approximately 1.2, and then we have something special called the sizzle. The sizzle means what is so good about that property for 1.2 over all the other homes that are available for 1.2 in Mississauga? What's special about that home?
The whole house is renovated.
Okay, so we can say it's renovated. One second. Renovated. Does it have a double garage?
Yeah.
Does it have a granite counters? What else can you tell? How about the backyard? How big is a nice big lot?
It's a regular.
Regular lot? Has a deck out the back?
No, yeah.
Okay, so, oh, is it a field or what's behind it?
Playground.
Okay. A playground?
Yeah.
So playgrounds nearby, we'll say that. Playgrounds nearby. I'm just putting in something. You can put whatever you want. You're going to be typing this stuff in yourself. Everybody at home that's listening to this and watching this, you are going to be the ones that actually add it onto the computer, and people in the rest of the world can search that computer, find your information, and give you a call. Then you go down here, click on Canada, you click on Ontario, you click on Greater Toronto, and then you click on Mississauga. There it is there. Then you come down here, and there's lots of choices, but for residential homes, there's a special button called Residential Estates, Single Family Homes, Condos, Cottages, and Vacation Properties. Under the date, you must repeat it again. It's a home. Location, Mississauga, because these are the searchable fields. 1,200,000, you put in the proper numerical number. And where it says price comment, we're going to say approximately coming for sale. And then what we usually do is we come up here, copy the subject line, come down here, and we enter it into the comments field where there is no limit. There is a limit in the subject line. The limit is a maximum of 160 characters. Okay? But in the comments area, there is no limit. We do something special down here in the internet links box. And that's because we have people from 138 countries that are coming here on a regular basis. Do they really know all there is to know? When you're calling from Asia and you're Europe and you're looking at this stuff, we suggest that you put a link to the city of Toronto in your ads. By the way, if you were to drive to Toronto, how long would it take to drive to Toronto from that property?
25 minutes.
25 minutes. Okay, so you could say here, you could say 25 minutes to Toronto. Okay, and you would add that link in there. But you should also add the link to the city of Mississauga in here to sell Mississauga to the world. Now, if you don't know the link to Mississauga, what you can do is you can open up another window and you can go to Google and you type in Mississauga, Ontario, and you're going to find that it gives you the City Hall website for the city of Mississauga. Now, I have a statement that I make that 90% of the brokers in the world have not really arrived on the internet in an effective fashion, because all everybody's doing is just throwing properties on the internet with no due regard to the location. And when you think about it, the three most important words in real estate, location, 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 are actually being missed. So by putting a link to the City of Mississauga website, it can help to sell your property to someone else in the world. Now, when you go to this particular website, you'll notice that does this website look like it's really selling Mississauga to the world? Yes or no?
Yep.
Are you excited about it? Okay, some people can be. But I'm going to let you know there's even a better site. Here you've got, sometimes it talks about taxes, it talks about, the cold weather. One time we linked to the city of Oakville, and right on the front screen it says, "Welcome to Oakville, the West Nile virus has just arrived." Does that help to sell your properties? No, so you got to watch what you link to. Now, Mayor McCallion, some time ago, we talked to them about the brokers to go talk to the office. And we said, you should have a website that helps to sell Mississauga. And they built one. If I go to business up here, and then I go down to more, you're going to find that there's a website here that says invest in, and what are the advantages of Mississauga. This is the link to the City of Mississauga website that helps to sell Mississauga to the world. Do you like that website a little bit better? You could put both in. You could put both. This helps to sell knowledge-rich talent, skilled and willing. People make markets. And it talks about great success stories and all Forbes, best employers, Mississauga companies on the move. It shows that Mississauga is a dynamic, active, wonderful place to live. And we suggest that you should put this in your listings when you put them on the internet. Where else can you put this link?
Website?
On your website. Very good. So you should have a link to the City of Mississauga on your website to help to sell Mississauga to the world. This is the link to the City of Mississauga up there. You go up there and copy it. I'm going to close this page. Actually, I'm just going to close that tab. And then what I'm going to do is go back to this other one. And I'm going to paste the link to the City of Mississauga in here. And I'm going to type in Mississauga. Now, if you also had a link to the to your website with the listing in it, you could actually go to your website, get the link to your listing, and put that link right in the ad. So the answer is yes, you can have photos in your ads, but we recommend that you put the listing on your website and then link to your website. The beauty of that goes right back to here. If somebody sees this ad on one of the ads that we do worldwide, we're generating traffic for the website. We generate traffic for the website, they see your listing, they click on the link, and they see the picture on your website. Next thing you know, they give you a call. And they say, I'd like to go see that property tonight at 7 o'clock. Isn't that wonderful? And it can start from here. See, marketing is a lot like fishing. You never know where your next deal is coming from. So what you want to do is you want to put the lines in the water in all these different places to try to bring in more people for what it is that you have. This triggers leads for your website by doing it this way, by putting links to your website in here. Now, when we go to the bottom of the page here, you'll notice there's an item called control. And this is one of the important subject of today's session, because understanding this can help you make a lot of money this year that you could not have made if you didn't know about this. And you'll notice that one of the controls is MLS. If you have an MLS listing, you would choose MLS. But as of today, for those who choose to, you are no longer restricted to making money with just MLS. You can make money with all these other choices that you see on the screen. Now, maybe that's a little bit too small to see for people at the back of the room, so let's see if I can make it bigger. Am I able to do that? try it one more time. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Go down here. Can you see that at the back of the room now?
Yeah.
Was that better? Good job. Okay, you'll notice one of the choices is exclusive. Can you put coming for sale on the Toronto Real Estate Board? No, you must have a signed listing. And that's the way it should be. It should be that way. From our point of view, we think this should also be a service at the Toronto Real Estate Board that you could use. And maybe someday some people might say, get knowledgeable and say, we should talk to Gary about having this service run by the Real Estate Board. I would love nothing better than have this be a service for the National Association of Real Estate and for all the real estate boards in the world. It would be wonderful to have all of you networking information that you can make money on. And you'll see down there, there's one called regular client. Now, in this particular case, that home that you've got coming for sale, oh, did he just step out of the room? Okay, for a moment. That could be one of his regular clients. So he could choose that, or he could choose exclusive. He could choose either one. We like, if you have a good relationship with the owner, to choose regular client. The last question on the screen says, will you allow your listings to be advertised on other brokers' websites? We always recommend yes. What's better, to have your information on 1,500 other brokers' websites instantly or not? In other words, if another broker brings you in a buyer for this property, would you work with them? If the answer is yes, you should answer yes. When you click on submit, here's what you're going to see afterwards. So let me just make this a little bit smaller. On the left-hand side, you're going to see something that says latest world residential. And I'm going to click on that. And there's another one that was just put on coming for sale right there. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And there's an example of someone from Home Life Galaxy Real Estate who put on coming for sale in Scarborough, a bungalow approximately $899,000 fully renovated. Isn't that interesting? And Mahesh Maria doesn't work here, does he? No, okay. So I'm just going to have to close that. And that was supposed to be off. Sorry, let me just put that off there. And sorry about that, people. And that's an example of how it can trigger a lead. Interesting, eh? Interesting. It's an opportunity for you to make money with that listing, just like this person is doing. Okay, let's move on. Now, how long does it take? I showed you it took a matter of a couple of minutes to go ahead and advertise that one ad. Once you place it on this service, it's instantly available to people from 138 countries. It also gets circulated by email to the industry to 20,000 people daily, and it's actually displayed on over 1,500 other brokers' websites on the internet as well. And that means that when the Florida brokers also get it, they will also have it. They'll do referrals up here. You'll be doing referrals down there. Any questions on any of that so far? We do recommend some people that have not made money on our service and some people who haven't made money, period. Part of the reason is that you got to pay attention to some of these things. You'll notice that we recommend that everyone have at least 15 haves and wants, everyone, because information is all around you. When I drove to this office today, I saw people that were trying to lease space over here. Said brokers protected. You can call them up and ask them 3 special questions. Get that information, if they agree, verbally, and actually put it on here without a signed listing. There's a way to do it, but you have to respect what we're going to teach here today. Now, we recommend that you modify your listings every 30 to 60 days because they go down, down, down in the database, and there's new ones coming in all the time. You want to bring your listing back to the top and get it circulated out to the industry all over again. So there is a responsibility on your part to look after your information and to keep it fresh at all times. In addition to that, you must never let your listings go longer than 90 days old. Anyone who has not made money on ICIWorld, I look at their listings they're over 90 days old. That's important because they're not showing up on these apps. The apps that we have here, there's a responsibility on the whole part of the industry to keep your information up to date, less than 90 days old. Okay, let's move on. Now, how do we help you? How do we help you get this going? We use GoToMeeting software, and we suggest that you make an appointment with us. And this is how all the training in the world is being done, no matter where we are located in the world. We actually do our training from any place in the world. Up here, it says make an appointment. You would actually click on that. And if you were to join today, you do not leave until you make an appointment. Can everyone go on their phone right here and click on login? In your case, you go down the page to login, in your case, but click on more if you have the app. Click on the word more if you have the app. And click on login, which is the third button down. And the very first thing that comes up, what does it say? Make an appointment. In other words, you make an appointment with us whenever you need assistance. Usually, people need 1, maybe 2 appointments, and that's it. You're good to go. Because you can add the listings. You're already adding listings to the Toronto Real Estate Board, which is way more complicated. But you can add listings here, and you can modify your listings from time to time. Now, for the people that someday wish to join our service, click on more again, and the very first button says join. Can everyone click on that? Join. And if you go down the page just a little bit, do you see the special that says Corporate Special Canada RE/MAX Active? Go down the page. Maybe you click on number 1, that might get you there. Do you see the RE/MAX special there? Okay, so there is a special to join for the first year, and we may have a little better special on top of that at the end of the session. I'll explain it to you later. But when you're ready, you can actually just click on that, and bingo, you can actually sign up right from here if you wanted to. Okay, that's how that's done. The other people that wish to join, you can staple your business card, put your credit card number there, or we've got one of these things, you can put a chip in and do your credit card number there if you ever wanted to. But then, once you have an appointment time, you come to the main website and you click on Webinar Workshops 10 minutes before your time. We are just like a doctor's office. Every hour on the hour, we have someone else that we're helping, starting at 6 a.m. in the morning. And yesterday we had 10 people we helped all day long, one after another. It's just like a dentist or a doctor's office. When your time is up, if we're not finished, you make another appointment and we make another. And we are helping you one-on-one. Even though I have been a broker for over 40 years, I want everyone here in this room to consider us as a personal marketing and information assistant to you personally. And we go at your pace. And we're here to help everyone make connections to do deals. And when you do the appointment is conducted in your home office or here at the office over the internet. So you just get in front of your computer at your appointment time. That's it. And then we're going to connect our 2 computers together and do that. And we have a special pledge. Every 90 days, you should be either doing a deal or triggering leads that you feel will lead to doing deals. Every 90 days. If you're not, you must give us a call because you're missing something. And that's how you measure the results. And one of the things that we hand out today, did everybody get a copy of the orientation? Make sure you have a copy of the orientation over there. In fact, I got it. It's called orientation. Did everyone get one of these? Everyone got one? Orientation is called. I got one. Okay, everyone got one? Orientation. This is what you need before you make sure you've got one of these. Okay, or it's called orientation. And that literally is a checklist to do everything on ICIWorld. That's it right there. You can take an extra one if you need it. And you'll notice we left space at the top blank and space in the middle that you can scribble notes on. And you can write things on this thing. This is a checklist to make sure that you do everything. Okay. let's move on.
So Gary, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
So when you say like 15 haven't
15 halves and once, we're going to
What
show
is
you
it?
how to get. That's what this whole session is about. How do you get 15 opportunities on the internet? We're covering that coming up. Good question. Now, we also have something special called an ICIWorld Educational YouTube channel. And when you go to the main website, and I'm going to go right back to the main website, and I click on, you'll see something here special called For Members. When I click on this For Members and go down the page, you're going to see there's a YouTube right here. This is ICIWorld's educational YouTube channel. And when I click on it, the recording that we're doing today right here, it's going to go there by tomorrow. Okay, so if you need to go over this seminar again, or for the people that are missing the seminar, you actually can listen to it later. And the ICIWorld Seminar, this is one that we did at the Toronto Real Estate Board last week. If you wanted to listen to it, you just click on it, and then it comes up as a video, and it starts to play. I'm going to pause it. You can make the screen bigger, and then you can play it, and then you can stop it. You should learn how to stop it, play it, and you should also make the sound lower. If the sound is too big, you make the sound lower. And you can actually get your training right from home whenever you wish. In addition to that, we now run 4 webinars every single day. You click on the word events over here, and when you do, there are 4 webinars running. One at 10:30 in the morning. In fact, there's one that just started now. So for people that are on the internet, they could actually go there and register for that, and they could listen to this one. The orientation follows the guideline of this. Word for word, you can listen to the video, and you can listen to this and take notes at the same time. Then there's another one at 6 o'clock, and then this one, very important, how to promote your website. It's at 8 o'clock at night. Every day. 30 days a month. We change these videos about once every 2 months. So there will be a new one coming up. If you want to see the new events that are coming up, there's the event that we were having here today. It was actually announced right here. This is the event that we're doing right now. Okay, let's go back. And then, God bless you. And then you're going to see that next week we're going to a ball game. The Marlins are playing against the Nationals. And I'm going to put my Blue Jays shirt on, and I'm going to that game. And there's about 50 commercial real estate people in Southeast Florida. They're all going to that game. And we have, you can see what it looks like here. That's what it looks like. We're going to be standing right there next week. And I'm going to be handing out these cards. Actually, there's another set of cards out here. It says, does it say free on there? Global advertising almost free? Yes. Did everybody get these? You got one of these, okay? Okay. Take more than one, because if you get somebody to join the service, you get credit for 3 months to join. Okay? You got them? Okay? It says here, a global advertising marketing almost free. We're going to be handing these out. And I'm going to have another one that says international networking with Canadians. So I'm representing you going down there to try to get them to join, put their listings on so they can be on your website. You can search Florida right on your phones right now from that app or from the mobile website right now. So that's what we're going to be doing next week. And beer and popcorn and hot dogs. Okay, let's move on. Whoopsie daisy, let me go back here. What else is going on? Let's click on this events again. I shouldn't have closed that. I should have just gone backwards. There we go. Click on that and go down. And as I go down the page, the next one is a webinar. We're doing another seminar down there at a real estate office, and they're hosting us to speak. And we have people that are going to be presenting their haves and wants in this session, and you're going to hear about them here in Canada live if you're tuned into this particular session here. And we're going to try to get people who want to reach people internationally with their projects. And we have projects, even we have members on our service that sell resource up in Manitoba, beautiful resorts to U.S. Customers. We have people in Costa Rica that are selling projects there. Doris from Ecuador, she was online one time. So in other words, we're connecting all the brokers who want to connect in the world. We're connecting them every once in a while on these seminars, and they're putting their information on ICIWorld, and then they get a chance to talk about it from their location, wherever they are. That has to be arranged ahead of time because I want to be able to present and show pictures of your properties when you're posting them here for worldwide audience view. We go down a little further, and you'll see there's a CCIM breakfast meeting coming up at the Novotel Hotel on the Esplanade. And that's a breakfast meeting. We invite every one of you to attend these meetings. Even if you're residential, you can learn a lot about commercial real estate, and I'm going to cover that in a moment, CCIM. I happen to be a CCIM and a CIPS, and I'm going to cover that in a moment for you. We go down, you're going to see courses that are coming up. And this is an investment course that teaches you how to do commercial real estate. Then you're going to see the Mississauga Real Estate Board has an annual general meeting. We will be at that meeting. We have a booth at that meeting that's coming up. Are you all aware you're in Mississauga on April the 11th? You've all got notices of that already? So we will be there. We'll have a booth at that show. So come on over and say hello to us when you go there. And then we have another meeting. This is going to be another one we're presenting up in Sudbury. And we love it. I used to go to Laurentian University up in Sudbury. It's beautiful territory. And then, of course, Realtor Quest. How many people here have been to Realtor Quest? 2, 3. How many people here have not been to Realtor Quest? I'm recommending that every single one of you should go to Realtor Quest. It's beautiful. Nowhere can you see so many products and services in one day as you can go into Realtor Quest. You can spend the whole year looking for things. You will not see as many things when you go as products and services for you to make money and serve your customers. It's beautiful down there. The nice thing about the Toronto Real Estate Board, if you belong to it, is that they're paying for your lunch. Now, they paid for the lunch last year, so if they don't do it this year, don't hold it against me. But I believe they're paying for your lunch, and you get your, I don't know if there's a breakfast and coffee and croissants and sandwiches and everything. It's all paid for, $50 worth. Anybody who is not a member of the Toronto Real Estate Board can still go to that event, but you have to pay, I think, $25 or $50 to go to it in order to go to it for the day. And there's sessions going on all day long that you can take in that are teaching you different things going on in real estate. You should bring your running shoes. There's a lot of walking to do. Bring a nice tote bag and bring some energy bars. You want to keep your energy for the whole day because it's a big, big day, and get excited. Now, you might not be able to eat. ICIWorld has 2 booths this year, not 1, but 2. And part of the reason is we had problems last year. The problem was we had so many people at our booth because we make a statement that you could have a $30,000 website and it's not as powerful as the websites we're supplying for $16.50. And everybody was at our booth and they were signing up to get all of these tools that I'm doing with you here today. And maybe with 2 booths next year, we'll have a little more room for everybody, but it's very busy at our booth at that show. It's just very, very well received. And it's almost like a homecoming. I get to say hello to all our members once a year in a good way and give everybody a big hug and vice versa. It's really good. I really enjoy meeting everybody there. So that's some of the things going on that you can click on, and you can click on events on your own phone to see all of these different things that are kind of going on in the marketplace. All right, let's get back and continue on. Okay, here we go. Now, this seminar, we've been doing it, and it's been constant. It's been working good. Sometimes you don't have to reinvent the wheel. The wheel is already invented. We see people sometimes, though, pushing a wheelbarrow. This is a cartoon that I saw where they had square wheels. One guy was pulling the wheelbarrow, and another guy was pushing it, and it had square wheels. And there was a fellow directly behind him who had a round wheel. And he was trying to get their attention. And the people that were pushing the wheelbarrow says, "We're working too hard. We're too busy. Talk to us another time." In the meantime, it was a wheel that could get them going. We sort of think that that's a little bit what our service is like. There's a way to be making connections, and until you've had your first deal, you're skeptical, you can wonder, does it work? Look at the testimonials of all the brokers doing the deals. This proves that you can do it too, and we're here to kind of help you. And that's what these seminars are all about. How are we going to get the whole world to do this, in the next 5-10 years? I don't know, but that's the goal that we have. How is that going to happen? If there's anybody in this room that has ideas, please let me know, because we think it can benefit everyone in the world. Now, there's about 3.7 billion people, internet users right now. So this is very exciting for you to connect with these people. We've done it, doing it, and it's happening. The membership is open for all licensed real estate brokers and salespeople in the world, and we have free places for the public to post their information, but the only people that can read that information are the member brokers. I'll be demonstrating that in a moment. So this service was really built to serve the public. When you post information, you can get calls from the public, show property, and make money. Now, I'm not going to cover these today, but can you please open up, you have a copy of the PowerPoint, everyone? Can you open up your PowerPoint? Because you're going to need it here at home. You need a copy of the PowerPoint presentation. Uh-oh, looks like, no, here they are. Does anybody not have a copy of the PowerPoint presentation here? PowerPoint, you've got it. Okay. Maybe you can go to the screen that you see on the page right now. See if you can find it. What page is it on? That's the one. Page 3. Pardon me? Page 3. Page 3. Can you please go to page 3? Go to page 3 on your PowerPoint. And by the way, there is a way that people at home can get all of these printouts and print them out too if you want. But we're now on page 3, where it talks about various apps for the iPhone, for the Android, and mobile apps for everything that you see here. And the first one you see is evernote.com. I don't think this service could be built with that Evernote. It's very, very important. I wake up in the morning sometimes at 2, 3 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I get an idea for something that I think may work. But if I go back to sleep and don't write it down, I can't remember the next day what it was. I don't know what you're like, but I forget things quite a bit. So I write them down in Evernote. What I do, I pick up the phone and I have Evernote right on my phone. And I'm calling it reminders for me. I click on the plus sign, and if I say I want to take a note, I click on text. I can actually click on the microphone and say, I need to remember to call John later on today because something on his website not working. And it's all there, and I click on there, and the note is saved. It's that fast. That is a thought that I've now recorded here. So Evernote is one of the best and most used products on the internet. I think everyone should have it. And you will learn it's got 10 times more features than just what I showed you. If I see an email that I want to remember, I can email it to Evernote. I can email it to them. If I see a newspaper clipping, or maybe if I was on CNN or the Toronto Star and I see a clipping, I can click on it and share it to Evernote. It records it. And then you can then have a big library of all the things sorted the way you like to sort things. KeyPass info. Again, I couldn't operate the computers. I got about 200 passwords, and we use that all the time. It remembers your passwords, and if you have trouble remembering passwords, it doesn't matter which password program you use. Just use one so that you can have your passwords. Dropbox, if this computer dropped on the floor, Dropbox is a solution for me to get this computer back. Now, I have a question for everyone here. If you lost your computer today, or if your computer crashed or the hard drive seized up and you couldn't get anything back, are you in trouble? How many people would be in trouble in this room? Okay? Dropbox can help solve that. It's sort of like the iCloud. Has anybody here used the iCloud in some way? You're using it? Some of the people are using iCloud? iCloud is like a Dropbox. Dropbox is like an iCloud. Basically what happens, you can set up this computer and have space on the internet. So when you type in a document here and click on save, Not only does it save it on your computer, it saves it in Dropbox because they're linked together. So if this computer crashed, I could buy another computer and I put Dropbox on it and I link it to the Dropbox I got on the internet and wait about 12 hours where all the files get all downloaded and set the computer up exactly the way I lost it in the first place. So that's what Dropbox can kind of do for you. It's very, very exciting, and it can protect you from a catastrophe on your computer. Inmin.com, every one of these other things I'm not going to go through in the essence of time because we're rolling along right now and I want to stay on schedule, but I'm posting them here so that you can see them. You can go check all these other tools out on your own time, and they're all in the printout that we gave to you, so you don't have to write them down. PayPal, great program, we use it. Snipping to all of these other programs. In real estate, there's some of the real estate tools that people are using on a regular basis that people are talking to me about. And if you have programs that you use, send them to me. I like to hear about the tools that you use as well. Some of the commercial real estate tools, there they are there. I'm not going to go into them because it would take too much time. Today's session is not so much about talking about individual tools, but to highlight some of the tools that a lot of people in the industry are using so that you can benefit from it. There's the information on myself. We share this so you can see that this service was developed from a broker's point of view. How can we cut the cost down of everything that's costing us money all over the place and yet still take full advantage of the internet to reach 3.7 billion people? I don't want to sacrifice reaching them, but I want it at the lowest possible cost. Those appointments that we make, that's one example of how we do it. If you had to call the office and get assistance right then and there, we'd have to have 4 people working at $30,000 to $40,000 to $50,000 each. That would be $120,000 of people sitting there just to answer phones for you. Instead, we say make an appointment. It's much easier. We can't handle 20 phone calls right now, but we can handle 20 appointments, no problem, one after another. Our office actually can be very quiet. It's hard to believe that we're running an international network, but our office is quiet. If somebody wants to talk to us, you simply make an appointment. It goes on the calendar. No matter where we are, we handle it. We make our time available on that calendar, and that's when we're available. So we did that from a broker's point of view to keep the cost down. Now, you'll notice that I'm also a CCIM, and you should write this down, and you can write this, in fact, it's written down there, but write down next to the CCIM, write down CI 101. It was just run at the Toronto Real Estate Board about a month ago. CI 101 will help you take the mystery out of commercial real estate. All of you can actually market and sell commercial real estate if you understand how to paint a picture. You know, when you go and show a property to someone, and let's say it's a little duplex, triplex, or maybe they want to buy 2 or 3 condos for investment. If you can paint a beautiful picture of how they make money, you have a chance to control that deal. If you take CI 101, the very first course for CCIM, it will show you all the money going into a project, all the money coming out, and it'll show what happens to the money during the term of the hold. You're going to be able to show a picture of how people make money before tax and after tax. And then when it comes to a time when you show the property and they walk away and they say, I want to think about it, you're going to have the picture that they can take with them. And then they can show that to their lawyers, to the accountants, to their family members. That has a chance to help you get the deal and save the deal and sell the deal when you can paint the picture. Because if they disagree with you and they say, oh, I think that taxes are going to be going up or hydro is going to be going up, and you're not going to make that much because of that, well, you can change the pictures because you are controlling the deal. And then maybe you're not going to offer $980,000, maybe you're going to offer $920,000 because of those changes. So that's the kind of thing that you can learn in CI 101. The before tax and after tax consequences of investing in any income producing real estate, whether it's a duplex, a triplex, a 20-unit building, a 100-unit apartment building, a shopping center, office building, anything, you're going to be able to understand it if you take CI 101. And every one of you should take it, even if you don't go for the CCIM designation. The other ones that you see down here, all of these social media, they're important to help promote your website. You know, when somebody moves into an area, one of the things they do is they might look you up in LinkedIn. The population of Canada would be going down if it wasn't for immigration. So when they come to Canada, or they come to the United States or Florida for that matter, one of the things they do sometimes is to look you up. And they will type your name in LinkedIn. And they'll go. LinkedIn is really like your business card on the internet when you think about it. You should be putting your memberships in the Canadian Real Estate Association, in your case. That should go on your LinkedIn profile. You should put your Ontario Real Estate Association membership on your LinkedIn profile. Let the people know that you belong to these organizations, the Toronto Real Estate Board. Let them know these things. In other countries, sometimes it's scary to buy a piece of real estate. They're going to develop thousands of dollars and they're going to write a check and give it to you. Oh my God, what's happening with the money? But in Ontario, there's a lot of rules and regulations and bylaws and codes of conduct, codes of ethics that we're all adhering to in order to sell. And then over a period of years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you're going to have a history of doing business in an area successfully, and they will have confidence in dealing with you if you do some of these other things. It can help you develop clients for you and your business. I also happen to be a mortgage broker as well, and I'm also, if you notice, a CIPS. You can mark that down. Certified International Property Specialist. I'm suggesting every one of you consider taking those courses as well, and that helps you understand the culture and other cultures around the world, whether it's in Asia, Europe, the Caribbean, South America, United States, and Canada. And it's great connections. The people that study that, I'm just having a wonderful time with them. It's just wonderful people in both CCIMs and CIPS that have taken their time, care, and attention to study more, to learn about these things. So yes, I recommend those courses for you. Now, we have other instructors that are going to be doing this other than me in the future. Judy Casimir is a good example. She's actually an AREA instructor. She instructs the course. We have other instructors that could come in here someday and instruct the course. There's a list of some of them right now. Doris Perino, she's actually working with Floyd Wickman right now as well, and she's also an instructor helping. And so this is also an invitation to people that hear this in the future. If you'd like to conduct this particular seminar in your city or your area, no matter where in the world you are, we have a way that you can do it. Give us a call. We'd like to hear from you. Now, why are we taking our busy time today when you can be with family, you can be on a job, you could be calling people? Well, on the internet, it's real estate that provides the highest return of investment of all the industries on the internet, because one little lead can make you a lot of money. And we've got the testimonials here that show you how much money is being made. We actually have people now that are making over $1 million in commissions selling land, all kinds of good things. Read the testimonials. It's all there for you. So it's very exciting to know how to make the internet kind of work for you. And that's what we're here to kind of do. And you can do business any place in the world. Does anybody have their home or mother country where you know people where there's some real estate for sale? In your home or mother country? Anybody at all? Okay, quite a few. Can you give me an example of one that might be something for sale? And what city might it be in?
I think they're trying to build a shopping center, I believe in Lahore, which is a city in Pakistan.
Okay, Lahore, that's in Pakistan. Okay, here's what's really interesting. Are they looking for tenants?
I'm not sure exactly the whole details. I just know the rough.
Okay, I'm going to show you the kind of connections that can actually be made here. Watch this in Lahore, Pakistan. And I'm going to go to the search function here. And one of the search functions you're going to see is called our database number 2. And I'm going to click on it. And I'm going to go down here and you'll see the FSBO area, and I'm going to click on it. And I'm going to choose, instead of Canada, I'm going to choose Asia. Come on now. Okay, and then I'm going to choose Pakistan, and I'm going to search. And isn't that interesting? We've got some properties in Pakistan there. Can you see them? In other words, there's people in Pakistan that are putting information on our service, starting to. Interesting, eh? That shows that there's a readership there. Now, if I was to go back, and I'm going to pick India and see what's happening there. And let's go search the database, and there's a lot more there. Look at that. I don't know if you've heard of any of these cities. Has anybody heard of any of these cities here? Can you see that? Can you recognize some of those? Interesting that that's right on ICIWorld, isn't it? Never expected to see that. But that, oopsie daisy. So that shows, you know, there's more information here. If I go to next results and click on that, there's more properties that are here. So in other words, this shows you this is an international service. You can be international brokers working properties in India, Pakistan, any place in the world for that matter. How would it work? Well, you would find out about a property that's for sale and you could post it on here. If you get a buyer or a tenant for that shopping center and they call you, you can do a referral to whoever's handling that particular property in Pakistan. You're going to be doing referrals, triggering leads to do referrals. Any questions on that? And it's not that hard to do. Let's move on. There we go. Okay, so that shows that you can be doing business. So people that become a member here, you become like a world kind of real estate broker, salesperson, and there's a way to kind of do that. And when you have questions, you just give us a call, make an appointment. Now, we're showing you here that there's testimonials on your phone. You went through them earlier. We did that earlier where you could see all the brokers that are doing deals. So you know this stuff makes money for brokers and it helps the public do deals. Now, sources of where you're going to get your information on. Where you're going to get information to put it on here. Well, here's one nice statistic down at the bottom down here. That of the FSBOs that are out there in the marketplace, 9% sold without an agent. What does that mean?
Relevant to an agent. 91%.
91% sold with an agent. Interesting, eh? So in other words, all the FSBOs that you see in the marketplace, 90% of them are being sold by brokers and salespeople like yourself. Now, sometimes you knock on the door and you ask them for a listing. What do? No thanks, don't bother me, that kind of thing. But I'm going to show you now how to approach those people in a different way that's going to help you get the information. Let's move on. ICIWorld itself has over 30,000 haves and wants. 75% of them are actually exclusive, not on real estate boards. 50% of the residential is exclusive, not on real estate boards. These are properties coming for sale, FSBOs, assignments, and more. But there's two major world databases. Now, I already showed you, we've already searched. When you search on your phone, you search database number 1, you click on the listing, you can make a connection with the other broker, and you can go off and do a deal. But I also, on your phone, you can actually search database 2 right now on your phone. It's on your phone. We put it on it. But you cannot click on them. The only people that can click on those message numbers are the members. Okay. Now, we do both commercial and residential, and I'll give you an example of some of them, how they're being done. And I'm going to go and show one home that I think is really kind of neat to kind of see. I'm going to go start a new search here. Actually, I'm going to go right back to our main page. And what I like to do is do a residential search. I should make this a little bit smaller. And I'm going to start a search here and go into residential. And you'll notice that one of the choices on the screen is have want age. We do not delete listings for 5 years. Same as real estate boards. They don't delete them, they just go expired. In our particular case, what we do is we leave them here, but we give you the choice to choose how far back you wish to search. Interesting, eh? In other words, if you don't want to go back more than 3 months, don't look at them. But I'm letting you know, a lot of those older listings, the buildings are still there. The people are still around. Though it might even be a better deal today than it was 1, 2, 3 years from now. You never know. Is it possible it could benefit you to find out how much a property sold for? Yeah. Is it possible that person that had that listing from 2 years ago knows about other buildings in the area, and you call him up, and next thing you know, he gets another building, calls you back, and you end up doing a deal? So it's all about networking, and those older listings can help you. And if I was to choose, say, more listings than that, and I was to choose maybe Canada just for fun, and choose sort them by price, and I was to do it that way and do a search, you'll see that there's properties coming up from $35 million on down. Those first two are a mistake. We are not like the Toronto Real Estate Board that checks everything, and that's good about the Toronto Real Estate Board and MLS services. The quality is high, very, very high. In other words, they're checking everything to make sure everything is right when it goes out here. On here, the person that put them in didn't check their listing how it looked, and it ended up that it went in at too high a price. I'll send them an email later on today and tell them they should fix their price. But I'm going to click on this one for $35 million. And you'll notice that there's links that are in the ads. And if I was to click on one of these links, for instance, let me actually just open it up in a new tab here. Okay. You'll see how it can link to your website very, very nicely. And then people can click, if you have a video that's on your website, you can click on the video, people can see this, and you can see how the information can come up very, very nicely. And this is all right from ICIWorld, right from the beginning. So we're highlighting projects and then driving traffic to your websites to show these kinds of property that are on here. So you can see that we have properties from $35 million on down. And that all started from a listing on ICIWorld. And there it is. Pardon me, hit that again. And then you can actually do more searches from here. Let's move on. Here we go. Okay, let's get that going properly. There we go. Now, there's an approximate, how do we get these readerships? Well, we really don't. We really have a method of keeping track of the IP addresses, and there's about 40,000 unique IP addresses that come in regularly. If there's a person behind each IP address, that would be accurate, but it's not exactly, but that's about as close as we can get to the number of people visiting the website on a regular basis. And the public calls you direct. There's 20,000 subscribers who receive the haves and wants daily, and over 1,500 brokers display all of your information regularly. We also have over 18,000 pages on the internet displaying links. There's over 138 countries, and we have our own servers serving the real estate broker. It belongs to you. This server belongs to the real estate industry. We're not sharing it with anyone else. Now, we've done advertising and marketing, and we're doing more marketing coming up. The Mississauga Real Estate Board, you'll see it here. We also do it at Brampton and other boards throughout the province. Now, there's the Realtor Quest, where we actually have one of the busiest booths there because we make that statement that you could have a $30,000 website, and it's not as powerful as the ones we supply for $16.50. And I'm going to be showing it to you here in a moment, and then you can reserve your judgment and you be the judge. We're also on the front page. We've covered this already, of these wonderful magazines that are out there. A lot of work gone into to get them all distributed out there and to distribute your information. You never know where your next deal is coming from. If you can afford to do it, you should do it. Now, how to work real estate have and want exclusive information that generates leads like our real estate board listings do. You can get your cameras ready and you can take a picture of 3 special questions that are going to be coming up here in a moment. And it's those three special questions that has helped people make from $50,000 to over $1 million here. And it's all about having inventory on the internet, because if you don't have any inventory on the internet, you're still running around trying to look for business. Get your inventory onto the internet. As soon as you hear about something, get it onto the internet right away. You can do that in a newspaper too, but it's just too much money. And secondly, there's no control. People can go behind your back. If you give them an address, they can go behind your back. We're going to be teaching you today how to maintain control so that they do not go behind your back. And we're going to be doing that within the next 3 minutes here. And does this all work? You've all got the testimonials, so you know it works. So get ready. Here we go. And we're going to be following the RICO guidelines. This actually started out of a book. It actually reinforced what we learned, what we wanted to do in 1994. This book came out in 1999, and it was called Business at the Speed of Thought. If you can take a thought out of your brain and put it on the internet someplace, people all around the world can see it, the thought. Every listing that you get is a thought before it's a listing. In your case, the property is coming for sale. That is a thought. If you can take that thought and put it on the internet coming for sale, someone else that's looking to buy in that area, you can trigger a lead. Interesting, isn't it? Business at the speed of thought. It's fast. Now, we're a little company, but we're able to provide this service because of that on the internet, that we have that computer running that takes your thoughts and then displays them to the world. Somebody in the world sees your thoughts and then calls you. And we're going to show you how to handle that call when you get it. Let's move on. These were some of the first words that Bill Gates, when he talked to Warren Buffett in the early 90s, he says, basically the concept to publish, the cost of information, getting your messages in front of someone. Today, in the 1990s, in the early 1990s, I saw this big internet wave coming, the most fantastic market medium known to man, but we didn't know what it was. We didn't know anything. We just know it was pretty wonderful. And it's here. It's working. The mobile sites are working. The information, you now have it within 3 seconds. But what went in to get that to 3 seconds? 20 years of hard work, believe me, learning how to make all this stuff work. But now it's at your fingertips right now. So we're an information listing service, not a multiple listing service. Information listing. You can advertise your listings, but you can now advertise your information as well. You can work FSBOs and open listings, exclusive builders, expired listings coming for sale. If someone is selling a restaurant, do they want that restaurant, everybody in the world, to know that it's for sale? No. No. And why not?
Because they don't want to lose their clients.
Lose the clients. It could be bad for business. There's a lot of things that people don't want other people to know about, but they would like to be able to sell it. Luxury homes. Sometimes people don't want other people to know that their homes are for sale. They just want the qualified buyer. Sometimes neighbors don't want their other neighbors walking through their home when their properties are for sale. Some people don't want all of their personal belongings. You take pictures of them and put them all over the internet. People don't want that sometimes. They're much more private and confidential. Well, you can do it with a confidential private service like ICIWorld as well. And we're going to show you now how to do that. And we've been doing it now for over 20 years, successfully, as smooth as a baby's bum. Here it is. You better take this picture of these 3 questions. These are the most important 3 questions you can learn. You should take your cameras out. If you have to walk up closer to take a picture, you should do it. Is it on the printout as well, by the way? Okay, so it's on the printer. It's on the printout as well. But you should take a picture of it, because you could be with a customer and you might not have my PowerPoint presentation with you. You take a picture of it and you can ask these 3 questions very, very nicely. What page is it on? Oh, there it is. It's on, I don't have a page number on this one. Can you master the 3 simple questions? There it is. So we're going to talk about it. I'm going to show you how one lady made $54,000 within 90 days of learning these 3 questions. She saw someone who was trying to sell space for a church. And she called them up and she asked the 3 special questions. The first one is, will you pay me a commission if I bring you a buyer? Anybody have any problems with that question? Any problems with that question? No, no one usually does. Second question, will you give me, this is verbal. You've already tried to get a signed listing, but they didn't give it to you. This is verbal. Will you give me a 48-hour exclusive listing to show the property once I have a buyer? Does anybody have any problems with that question? No? Everything okay? And then there's a third question. May I advertise your property, but I'm going to do it without disclosing the address. I'm not going to put the address on there. And the reason is this, RICO. RICO states that a registrant shall not include anything in an advertisement that could reasonably be used to identify, and that's the key word, identify specific real estate unless the owner of real estate has consented in writing. So in other words, if you're going to give an address to someone, you must have the consent of the owner in writing. Got it? If you don't put the address, can you network that kind of information? Yeah. This gives you opportunities to make money now with information that you couldn't do before today. Now, what happens when someone calls you? The first thing that they're going to do is they're going to ask you for what? What's the address? Are you going to give it to them? No. You can make a statement something like this. In this particular case, we have to put an agreement in place first. But if it's okay with you, I can show it to you on Saturday. You come to my office in Mississauga and I will make arrangements for you to see it. What do you do on the day before the showing?
You got an exclusive listing from the top?
Go get an exclusive listing from the owner. You got it? All right. A FSBO. Anybody here try to get a FSBO in the last year? Anybody? And you don't go after FSBOs? Has anybody talked to somebody that said, I don't want to give you a listing at this time, but if you bring me a buyer, I'll pay you a commission? Anybody have that said to them? Everybody in a room. Okay. Can I use one person as an example? What was, do you remember which property it was? It happened to be commercial. Okay, we can talk about it. Did you have a residential sample? Anybody? Okay, so we're going to do 2 at the same time. They said, if you bring me a buyer, I'll pay you a commission. And they said for the residential, if you bring me a buyer, I'll pay you a commission. Right? Okay. What's the first question that you can ask that residential person? What's the first question?
Why not signing exclusive?
Okay, the first question he says, will you sign a 48-hour exclusive listing? Is that the question? I'm asking everyone else. The answer is actually no. That's not the question. Because you just finished asking them for a 48-hour exclusive listing. You know, I had one broker, he came to me and said, Garrett, we have a special pledge. Anybody know what our pledge is? 90 days, you should be making money, making connections. After 90 days, he says, Gary, I'm not making any money with your service. I'm not making connections. I can't seem to do it. I said, what's the matter? everything's working for the other guys. Why isn't it working for you? I says, well, what's the first question? And he says, I asked them, will they give me a 48-hour exclusive listing? That's not the first question.
If I bring you a buyer,
Who said that? Give me a high five. High five, high five. Good man. This is going to make you some money, people. Watch this. Let me go back. Oopsie daisy. One second. If I bring you a buyer, 1 year we were doing this, and I didn't see how I put this all in red printing over here. If I bring you a buyer, we were just saying that was all in black printing before. It wasn't emphasized. Now, I'm doing this for teaching purposes, doing it this way today, because I want you to learn this stuff, okay? And you learn the hard way by getting the brain thinking. Every one of you, you've got so many things on your mind right now. I know that. I have to work with that. And I want to make sure that you learn this stuff. If I bring you a buyer, big difference. Big difference, isn't it? You get a yes on that. What's the second question? And I'll ask you now. You can, by the way, if you want to look on your phone, get your phones out and look. You took a picture of it? Who took a picture? Who took a picture on their phones? No. No, I'm not going to give you a 48-hour exclusive listing. And I have to go now. See you later. Goodbye. What's the second question, people? Look on your phones. Did anybody take a picture of those three questions?
Once I have a buyer.
If you got it on your phone, you should do it take a picture of this on your phones. Once I have a buyer. Oh boy, what a difference, people. What a difference. Okay? This is a workshop for brokers to learn how to make money. Come on now. Okay? You got your families to think about. You got bills to be paid. If you ask the right question, you're going to get the right answer. They say yes. Okay, what's the first question again? Let's go over it. If I bring you a buyer, would you pay me a commission? Good show. You know it. Somebody else now. The second question?
once I have a buyer, it will be 48 hours of exclusive listing.
Yes, sir. Okay, you got it. That's two questions. What's the third question? Somebody else. I know you two have got it, but somebody else. And I know you may have.
Can I advertise your product on internet?
May I advertise your product? Without the address, that's right.
That's the key keyword.
That's the key word. Every question has two parts to it. You see, the first part, the second part. The first part, the second part, the first part, the second part. Okay? If you want to take a picture of it, now's the time to do it because this is going to be going away. And it's going to show up on your cameras better. Take a moment, take a picture. It's just going to make you money. You can be in a restaurant. Let me ask you another question. If you talk to a restaurant owner today and you say, listen, if I got you the price you wanted for your restaurant, would you sell it? What's the average restaurant owner going to say? Lots of them would say yes, right? So then you ask the three questions. Yes, yes, yes. And how much would you want? You say, oh, I'd like $450. Okay, if I found you a buyer quietly. Now, if they're worried that you're going to give the address, you write him a copy of the ad. You show them that you're not going to be giving the address. Okay? So some of the people that we had on our network before, they were not doing this. That's why I'm emphasizing it here today. So pardon me and thank you for having patience in the best way I know how to convey this to you. Let's move on here. And that's what you're going to say when someone calls you. How about this one, coming for sale? So you had a coming for sale. Somebody calls you on the phone and they say, if you don't mind, I'd like to have the address. I'd like to drive by the property first. And then if I'm interested, I'll call you back. What are you going to say? Would you give them the address? Good. You know, you have hundreds of things of a legal nature to watch. You got to think about fiscal, and you got easements, and you got all kinds of properties and in trust and everything goes into sale of a home, there's over 40 major legal items, and then you got the agreements and everything. This is just one thing, people. Don't give the address if you don't have a signed listing, and you'll be okay. You got it? Very important. So you can make a statement that, in this particular case, we have to put an agreement in place first. But if you like, I'll call you back. I'll put your name on the list, and I should be getting the listing signed in a month or two. And if you're still looking, I'll give you a call. You can be one of the first people through the property. How does that sound? How does everyone like that? Is that good? Yeah. You can be getting people before it's listed and get them ready. And then when you have the listing signed, you give them a call, and on your first open house, you can invite them to it. Okay, let's move on. We're going to give you a test here. Mississauga restaurant, $350,000, making money. Does that give it away? Can you tell which restaurant that is? No? If I said the restaurant was at the corner of Huron, Ontario and Dundas Street, does it give it away? Now there's three answers. One is yes, it gives it away. No, it doesn't. The third answer is I don't know. How many think that if I say it's at the corner of Huron, Ontario and Dundas Street, that it gives it away? Doesn't give it away?
If it's the only restaurant he does.
If it's the only restaurant he does. Okay, so one thinks no, the other one says yes.
Absolutely not. That's not the only area.
That's
Restaurant in that area.
okay, it's not. Okay. How many people don't know?
Don't know.
Okay, don't know? All right. The answer is yes, it does give it away. And the reason is this. Let's say there was 3 restaurants at that corner. How long would it take for someone to go talk to those 3 restaurant owners? How long?
20 minutes.
20 minutes or half an hour?
Or check the seating arrangement or whatever.
Yeah, you just go talk to those 3 restaurants.
According to the.
Yeah. In other words, you just gave it away. So people can go behind your back and go directly. If the commission is 10% on $350,000, which for a lot of businesses it is 10%, because there's a lot of work that goes into that. That's $35,000 that you would not be making if they went direct behind your back. That money can put your kids through school, buy a new car, take a nice vacation, pay the mortgage down. That's a lot of money. And because you simply, with your tongue, gave it away where it was, bye-bye to the money. You got to protect your information the same way lawyers protect their information with confidential information, the same way doctors protect their information with confidential information. I suggest to you that this is our business family, this is our business profession, real estate, and we've got to protect our information just like it was money in the bank. Let's go to the next one. Toronto Triplex, 750, positive cash flow. Does it give it away? No. If I said it was at the corner of Ossington and Bloor, next to the Pizza, does it give it away? Yes. Now, I'm doing some simple examples on purpose because I'm going to get a little more interesting here in a minute, a little harder. Let's move on. So most building owners will give you permission to advertise in that way as long as the address or property cannot be gleaned from the ad. How about this one here? Lindsay SO gas station. There's 3 answers. Does it give it away? How many say yes?
Yes.
How many people say no?
Yes,
How many people don't know?
that's a yes.
The answer is a yes, and the reason why?
There's not many Esso. Lindsay's a small town, and there's not that many.
A small town, actually, there's only one Esso gas station in Lindsay. Okay? So in other words, this is an education for you, the real estate people. Just because the internet is out there, just because you can put pictures on it, because you can do all this stuff, you might still not make a penny because you are putting too much information out there. Okay? Now, if I have pictures of a home and it's an exclusive listing, you put the picture on the internet, people know which one it is. They can go direct. Just because you have the picture doesn't make it right. Put it on the internet. Let's talk about this one. Brantford Shopping Center, $30 million. Does it give it away, yes or no?
Yes.
We got yeses. Anybody say no? Anybody don't know? And the reason why the answer yes is correct is?
Because of the price and size of the city.
Right. There's actually only one shopping center that size. So right away, people know which one it is. If I said that there was a shopping center for $8 billion in Canada, do you know which one it is?
No,
Eight
it could
billion.
be then Sheraton or.
There are many.
Anyone.
There are many. 8 billion. In Canada.
There you go. Within 12 seconds, people, everybody had it. Edmonton Mall. Okay, so there you are. So you can see that there can be problems. So we have another special feature on our service called confidential. No other service has it. Confidential. Confidential type, confidential location. Just the price. Nothing else. Okay. Peterborough Retail Restaurant. Does that give it away?
Probably not.
No, because there's lots of them, right? Okay. Very good. Okay, so that's our coverage on exclusive information. Now we're going to cover what we call widgets on your website. And you're going to see, I don't know if you can put the camera and face that particular sign right there. Are you able to focus the camera on that? And you're going to see these are called ICIWorld widgets, which are links to listings. They trigger calls. And how they trigger calls, I'm going to show you. Now, the websites that I'm going to show you, it's not the design of the websites from a broker's point of view that I'm going to be talking about. There's thousands of different designs. Some are more prettier than others. But from a broker's point of view, I suggest it's the listings that can trigger a lead. If you can have listings on your website, and if those listings are structured in a way that people can't click on them or they can't see the address, that means they have to call you. And I'm going to show you something very exciting now in the business, in the real estate business. Here we go. And one lead can make you a lot of money. Let's go here. All right. Let's go and pull up this. Now, I've opened up a bunch of listings up here, a bunch of websites, and this is just one example of one website. Hang on one second here. Okay, I'm just going to use this one example for the moment. There's a Remax site, and by the way, this website here is $199 per year. Okay. By the way, on your desk, do you see the applications? Can you hand me a copy of that application that's just above there on the counter? Right there, right here. No, it's called application. Can everybody pull that up? It looks like this, application. If everyone can pull that up. How much does it cost to join ICIWorld normally?
$320.
320 plus.
$319 plus HST. And then when we do a special, how much is it? $240. So today there is a special, okay, of $240 if anyone wanted to join ICIWorld. Now, on the right-hand side, the third bullet, what does that say?
Can I get a discount with my membership?
We can talk. We can talk. The third bullet on the right-hand side, what does it say? The third bullet. Websites are free for how long? 1 month. And then if you want to keep it, $199 for the year. If you divide $199 by 12, it works out to $16.50 per month. So what I'm showing you here is $16.50 per month, basically. If you don't want the $199, you can do it $19 a month, no contract. Either way. Now, why is this a powerful website? I suggest to you it's because of 3 major world networks. Every broker has MLS. Every broker has real estate board listings on your website. And this one also has real estate board listings. If I go to residential, I can click on search MLS and we install this for you. We totally make this website for you. We get it up and running and we work hand in hand in your appointment. When you make an appointment with us, we get these websites going for you. People can search real estate. You can send people to your website and they can search the MLS and they can do it on their mobile phones. See if I can do this easy. That's what it looks like on a mobile phone, the website. These are mobilized websites that you can give to your customers. And then if people go down the page, they can search the MLS and you can see everything here. Now, I'm going to click on what we call this hamburger button, which are the 4 lines up at the top. And you're going to see all of these choices come on the screen. We've already searched MLS, but now we're going to search this GTA homes and condos. And if you're in Mississauga, we would make a special button called Mississauga, Brampton, Caledon Homes. Another little button, depending on the area. If I'm in Florida, I would put in Florida, Broward County, Davie, just whatever you would want to have, Miami. I would make special buttons no matter what residential area of North America or the world for that matter, the Caribbean. We even make them for Vanuatu and way down by Australia way. I'm going to click on GTA homes and you're going to see homes come up on the screen. Now, other brokers who are members of this service have agreed to allow their listings to be on your website. So all these beautiful homes are coming up on the screen, such as you see them here. And then people can click on any one of these, and I'm even going to go to the next page. You're going to have all these listings on your website, listings that have been agreed to by other brokers. In a lot of cases, they are MLS, but in a lot of cases, they happen to be exclusive. Now, if I was to go down here and click on, there's one I really wanted to show. It's even down less price than that too. There's a lot of nice, beautiful looking homes here. And people can come down and choose the price range that they're interested in. And for the purposes of demonstration, hang on one second. I'm going to pick an example of a home that somebody could be looking on your website. They could click on that. And what's going to come up are going to be some hopefully lovely pictures on the inside here. Try it again. There it is. You can see it working way up there. And go down the page. And there's a sample of the website. Your picture will be there. Your telephone numbers will be there. And then people can now start to look at the interior photos of the homes. And that's what it starts to look like. All the photos of the homes. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that beautiful? Mm-hmm. People can look at this from any place in the world. They can have your website on their mobile phone. And so when you're showing your customers, you show them that whenever you want to show pictures of nice homes, go to my website on your phone, and maybe they'll put your website on their phone as a shortcut. And then they can search for homes, and they'll want to do it. So there's an example of how it's being done. That's for residential. A lot of these are actually exclusive on this particular choice that you see right here that are not on the real estate board. Then we're going to go to this other one called residential exclusives. And I'm going to click on that. And you're going to recognize this because it's going to be coming from, let's try to click on it again. Hang on. Click on residential exclusive. There we go. It's working. I can see it working. The little round thing going way up there. I'm going to make that the size of a mobile phone as well. So your customers can come here and they can search exclusive listings. And if I was to change this to Canada, actually, let me show you Florida. And this will be good for Florida. So the Florida brokers can see how people can actually search Florida listings on a Canadian broker's website. And I'm going to sort them by price and search. And there they are coming up on the screen. Now, I'm going to move them over a bit. Now, that's not lined up. That's something that we have to work with there. We're going to have to figure that out, why that didn't line up. Because on some of the other ones it does, and some of these other ones it doesn't. But you're going to see them all coming up on the screen. Now, here's the big deal. If somebody is interested in this one for $250,000 or this one for $280,000, they're going to try to click on that. They cannot do it. Who does the customer that sees this have to call? if this is your website, who do they have to call? They have to call you. Give me a high five. Give me a high five. Okay, high fives to all of you. Okay, this is making you money. If the people go see other listings from other services, they can see the address. If the customer sees the address from the other services you have, is it possible they might want to drive by the property first before calling you? Yeah. And if they drive by the property and they see the sign in the front of the property from the other broker, is it possible they're going to call that other broker? Yeah. And if that customer does a deal with the other broker, does that broker call you back to say thank you? Not likely. Doesn't happen, right? So we still think it's important to have real estate board listings on. I've served on MLS committees. It's the backbone of our industry. We absolutely need it, no question about it. Number one way to sell property if you can get a signed listing. But if you can't get a signed listing, you can put it on ICIWorld. And when you have this particular widget, these listings, they cannot click on them. They have to call you as long as you're a member. If your membership expires, guess what happens to the links on the listings? They become clickable. You can still have it. Even if you're not a member of ICIWorld, you can still have the widget. And that way it's the same as a real estate board listing. People can see what's going on. Now,
So let me ask you, Gary. So when they're over here,
yeah,
they can't click. The inquiry will come in. Hey, you have a listing on your website.
yes, sir.
For, let's say there's one over here. USA apartments, like 500 unit apartments on your website. Can you send me more information about it?
Yes.
How would you go about that?
Okay, well, let's do an example of one right now. Somebody does a search on your website, and you have about 500 some odd apartment buildings on your website from basically $25 million on down.
Yeah.
Okay, and maybe somebody's interested in this one in Scarborough.
Yeah.
And so they give you a call and they say, I'm interested in message number 362120. Can you help me?
Yeah, but usually they won't give you that number. My experience has always been they will say, hey, you have a 20 acres for sale in Vermont.
Okay.
Send me more information about it.
Okay, you remember all those keywords because you can search those keywords. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that right now, and that's a very good question.
How would they actually send an inquiry from here? Can you walk me through?
Yep, what they usually do, and some people do, is they'll actually copy that number.
Yeah.
Okay, especially if that's the one they're really interested in. And a lot of developers do this for land. Why? Because you're going to have land on your website, and I'll just do subdivision potential condo townhouse site land, any age, and just go ahead and do a search, and you'll see all this land that's all around Toronto. This is infill sites, draft plan approved, land ready to go, townhouse lots, all that kind of stuff. They're all going to be on your website, and this is where a lot of money is being made here. But we've got the number in memory. So what you do is you go to ICIWorld. And if you want to search on ICIWorld, what do you click on? You click on search, you bet. And then if you go down here, you'll see that just above this residential Ontario properties button, what's that say?
Yeah, but you're talking about how I would do it. I'm
Yeah.
talking about how an inquiry would come in.
Pardon me. Okay, so the inquiry will simply be, let's go back to this website. You see up here where it says, where's this contact me button? Let me go back to the home page. Hang on.
This. Can you go back?
You see where it says here, contact me?
Yeah.
This is one way. There's other way. He has a problem. There is a problem with the website. And this is actually good that we're seeing it, because you can see how you have to, one of the things we do is tell you that you should be checking your website once a month, your links. It's like glitches. Things can go wrong with your car. Things can go wrong with a website. It's the same thing. Let me go to a different website where it is working, if you don't mind. We would actually go to home, and he has a button called Contact Me. I was wondering why I couldn't find Contact Me. Every website should have Contact Me. Agreed? You click on Contact Me, and you come down here, and you can paste the number in there and say, I'm interested in more information. Okay? and then you put your information up here, fill it in. They send you an email, you got the telephone number, the email address, the name of the person, and you get back to them. You call the other broker. Now, who's strictly residential in this room, doesn't want to do commercial? Anybody? All right, everybody wants to do commercial too. But if somebody calls you on a $10 million property, is it possible maybe you're leaving town and you're going on a big holiday and you can't handle it? So maybe you're going to call the other broker. You're going to tell the customer, well, I will have somebody call you back. You would get a hold of the other broker who's got that $10 million apartment building in Scarborough and say, I have a lead for you. Is a 25% referral commission okay with you? Now, if the commission is $200,000, that's $100,000 for the listing broker, $100,000 for the selling broker. You would get 25% of the $100,000 while you're going on holidays. You tell me if that isn't fantastic. We have one broker now who's done 15 referrals from a small town in Peterborough. 15 referrals. He's actually made $45,000 for 75 minutes of work. If you figure a referral is roughly 5 minutes to do, right? Now, the only reason brokers don't do referrals is because you don't get the leads. But if you can get the leads by having this kind of information on your website, you can generate the leads. The moment you put it there, the next person that sees it, bingo, they can give you a call. If you don't have it, zero. No chance. That's how important. That's why we got power up your website. Okay? Stock it with. If you have a shoe store and you have no shoes, are you going to sell any shoes? No. If you have a Best Buy shop and you don't have any computers, you've got all these different lines of computers. The same thing with your website. To sell real estate board listings is one way to trigger leads, but there's other ways now. And we're one of the biggest ways in the industry right now doing it. I don't know anybody else kind of doing this stuff, to be quite honest. All right, let's talk about something else that you'll have on your website. Here's another website made by this company down here called Lone Wolf. Anybody have a Lone Wolf website? Okay, I'm going to click on commercial on her case, and I'm going to click on Ontario commercial. This is coming from ICIWorld. The customer doesn't see ICIWorld. When you join ICIWorld, you do not send people to ICIWorld. Where do you send your people? To your own website, yes. Okay? So they come here, and maybe they want to see what's in Mississauga, so they come down here, and they click on Mississauga, and they do a search. And up comes about 300 listings in Mississauga. Look at that. There's a linked townhouse right there, just came online, 2,200 square feet. So you can end up getting a call on these things. Okay?
Is there a way to filter, like only haves versus, you see all the wants?
Yep, you can. Down here, you'll see that the wants are here,
yeah,
and that the haves are here. So if you want to sort, let's say, apartment buildings, just the haves, you click on it, and bingo, within 2 seconds, they come up on your screen, totally sorted by price. You tell me if that isn't fantastic. Now, briefly, how do you promote your website? You should be telling people what you got on your website. If you have your business card and you just finished eating in a restaurant, you give your card to the restaurant owner and say, by the way, I happen to have about 200 restaurants, buyers and sellers on my website. Here's my business card if you're ever interested, or maybe you know somebody else. And then you can show him. You can show him right from your phone. You can show him. You go back here, and what does this say right here? Right there. Keyword. Can you see that keyword from back there?
Yep.
All right. And if I click on that, look at all the keywords that you've got here. You're going to have gas stations, hotels, motels, power of sales. You're going to have it all on your website. And if I go down here and click on restaurants and search, there's 159 buyers and sellers of restaurants that have been put on here in the last 90 days. Interesting, eh? So that's the kind of thing that can, actually this is not 90 days. This is a little longer than 90 days, but it's the latest listings first, and everything is dated. Okay, what else do you have on your website? Let's say you go on an appointment and you're trying to get a listing. And say it's on a little apartment building or a shopping center or something. You can click on the wants for shopping center, and there's a list of 279 buyers right there. And you have a list of the wants. This shows how well connected you are in the marketplace of buyers. No longer are you not connected anymore. You're connected now. You're connected in with buyers and sellers. It's very exciting when you think about it. We never had this when we started in real estate. What are some of the other things on the website? We recommend that you have a residential button with all these choices, that you have a commercial button with all these choices. You will even have the FSBOs on your website. And if people want to search it, they can search Ontario. There's the latest listings coming on the screen in Ontario. People cannot click on these. They have to call you for more information. Okay, we're finishing up in about 3, 2, 5, 7 minutes. We're finished here. Let me get going here and finish up. Okay, is there anybody interested in joining so far? We've got 1, 2, 3. Okay, I got a special for some of those that have just put up their hand. You just hold on one moment. We support all websites. So if you already have a website, you can have these widgets on your website. Hang on one second. Let me just move on here. Why to consider having more than one website? They're like billboards. How to promote your website every day at 8 o'clock. Every single night we have a webinar going every single night. We think it's one of the very important things that all brokers have to take a responsibility for. It's your own business. It's your office building that's on the internet. Every bit as important as this bricks and mortar building that you're in right now to bring in customers. You got to learn how to promote it. And you need to know our pledge. Now, there's another sheet of paper over here. It's called an evaluation sheet. Can you please fill it in? I'd like your feedback. We've already got yours ready. Here it is here. I don't know. Does anybody need an evaluation sheet here? To take 1 minute just to fill this out. Give me some feedback on how you felt about today's session. If you don't mind, for me taking out my time today and to fill this out, I'd appreciate it. Just taking 1 minute to give me some feedback on how you enjoyed this session, maybe anything that you learned. And this helps me to develop and build this. I'm your assistant, helping you to make money. Anything you can help me with to help you make money. If I think of something else and you do it, you end up making money, then it was benefit. And then I'm going to talk about this special. And you can just leave those sheets at the corner of the table here face down. It's okay. Okay. All right, special, here we go. The first person that put up their hand, was that yourself? Normally, you see at the bottom here, it says 1 year. You're going to get 13 months for putting up your hand first. Who was the second person? You're going to get 14 months service. And you're also going to get 14 months. Okay? And we got 14 months so far. Is there anyone else thinking of joining as well? You're going to get 15 months service.